All right, we are just about ready here.
Hello?
Oh, all right.
Oh, oh,
Well,
it is I.
welcome everybody to the first episode.
Bienvenidos.
We're here with a shorter cast than, we thought we'd have, even though there might be four people on the voice chat. Two of them are currently muted. We're going to be having Bran on in a minute, and Power is currently in a tournament still, which I thought, we could just talk about like kind of like a post game interview since Power over here is sitting in grand finals right now, awaiting the winner of HanRan and Hokusai squad.
Uh, Lucas, I might have to interrupt you. Twitch chat says our voices are a little bit too quiet.
Okay, you may have to turn this up because I've been having trouble getting my volume really high. I have my mic all the way up.
I mean, I'm listening to it. It doesn't sound, it sounds like it's bearable.
Okay, cool. If you guys can turn up your streams at all, that would probably be the best option because
Yeah, we're just trying to get stuff sorted out because
yeah,
this is our first time doing this.
first episode. But anyway, why don't we just hop right into it? Just introductions and all that. You think?
Cool.
All right. So welcome everybody. First episode. My name is Lucas. I am one of the team captains of Coast to Coast Splatoon. I play mainly custom jet squelcher, and I've previously played the gals, and occasionally I fool around with blasters. And I've got my partner here.
Your boy Nico, or Bran. How about that echo? All right, I'm Nico. I am a member of Coast to Coast. I play bamboozlers, uh, custom just range blasters, stuff like that. And yeah, seems good.
Ready to talk about some Splatoon from the
I'm ready
weekend,
to sploon.
from the past weekend. Yeah, why don't you just jump right into it? Because I'm kind of just I'm here. We're here to talk about Splatoon. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
We're
we're
not
here to
really here to
sploon.
just have formalities. Um, so if you do you have the links to the tournaments from last weekend from the agenda?
I do not. You might want to give me those.
Okay, I think I posted them a while ago and it's been
Oh,
lost in
well.
the ether. So let's just go through SCL first, and
Okay.
here
Um,
you go.
I'm
It's
gonna
in your
need that
PMs.
young, yeah,
Um,
URL.
so I'll start talking about while you pull it up.
All right, cool.
So SCL pretty normal tournament until you get to the quarterfinals round of SCL is when things started to get a little
Little
wild with the
wacky.
results. Um, First you have Phoenix upsetting Komodo. I think many people would consider that an upset.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um,
Phoenix is a pretty new team. And to upset a team like Komodo that's been along for so long with players like Hitzel and just a very very strong roster. Um, yeah, it's a big upset.
yeah, to be honest, I cannot say with like 100% confidence that that Komodo had their best team there. Although I think honestly any type of combination from of players from a team like Komodo is going to be a threat in any
Yeah, they're
tournament.
gonna be they're gonna be good.
Um, and then C minus 3-2's Fresh Crackings Live, which was a combination between Creme Fresh, Get Kraken, Speed Runs Live. Um, and then C minus goes on to beat Phoenix and makes it into the finals, where they face HanRan, who had just previously 3-0'd Cooldown and 3-1 Extermination,
Which
which
was
is yeah,
honestly way more of an upset than Komodo and Phoenix.
yeah, dude.
Hanron 3-0ing cooldown, 3-1ing extermination. Like, I don't know. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, neither was I, to be honest. I mean, I looked at these results the next day and I was like, I hadn't seen HanRan as a team before, but I've been watching them today actually in the tournament, and I've been watching some of their videos, and they're just quick to the chase. They're always on top of you, it seems, and it's definitely a hard team to deal with for sure.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Somebody in chat asked who is on Phoenix. Phoenix is a pretty strong
Uh,
team. They have a lot of former technical difficulties players.
yeah, they do. They have Froyo. They have Red. Uh, Keybad. I don't know if that's what they call him now, but that's his username.
Hmm.
There's a guy named Sezo. Um,
Okay,
I'm not
nice.
sure. Those are just a couple of members that I named off.
Yeah, that's a good that's a solid roster right there already. Um, so between C minus and HanRan's, HanRan ultimately takes it 4-2. They pull out the victory, and HanRan last weekend honestly went on a tear. Like if you here, I'll link you Zapfish as well.
Cool.
If you look at Zapfish Rescue Force, the first edition of this weekly series, um, they they came back. I think they got three. Yeah, this is pretty crazy actually.
All right.
This is what I thought. They got 3-0'd by Komodo in grand finals, and they just beat Squid Next Door. They go into grand finals or winners finals. They get 3-0'd by Komodo, and then they go into grand finals, and they reverse 6-0 Komodo.
Holy, what the?
Um, I don't know if it
Um,
seems like something might have happened there. If
s-
you guys know if
Something
anything
had to have
happened,
changed.
yeah, if you guys know that if something happened, like they had like a roster
Wait,
change or like somebody had to leave or something, because that's a
that should not
crazy.
happen. You should
Yeah,
not lose. You should not win 3 games and then lose 6 in a row. It shouldn't work like that. But crazy upset from HanRan.
yeah. I mean that was like a. I mean they just beat them the previously, but like that's. I mean that's like crazy turnaround. So and then in a much smaller tournament, gotta go fast four. Um, they beat they beat Notorious twice
Notorious.
and
All right.
Evolution and Los Inklings to take like a small 6-person tournament, I think it was.
All right.
So yeah, that's not the biggest tournament of the weekend, but they did get 3 first places, and they're sitting in grand finals right now. Or they're not? Are they? I don't know if they're in grand finals yet.
Are they?
Um,
Well, we're
Let me
about to find out.
refresh the page and see. No, I don't know if it's happened yet.
Oh, it looks like in the chat, one of the HanRan members was saying that Komodo didn't have a charger.
Okay, that'll yeah
That'll do it.
that'll do it.
You need a charger on your comp almost all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd agree with that statement. So why don't we just get Bran in here and we can just ask him about Komodo's or not Komodo, sorry, Hanran's recent performances, Bran, if you wanna
What's
unmute
up?
and get in the chat. What's up, man?
Nothing
Bran,
much.
my boy.
Here for this podcast.
You're a little quiet for me. I'm gonna turn you up.
All right.
All right, there you go. This should be a little better.
Okay. Is it better?
Yeah, it's definitely better.
All right.
So you want to give us a little introduction, um, about you, like what weapons you play, what teams you've been on, stuff like that.
Well, I formally started out basically playing with a team back of September last year called OVR, which was a team that I was actually on Lux. I was on with Lux from Komodo as of right now and Shinka. Then I left, joined Juzu for a little bit. I planned on only staying there for a weekend, and then I ended up staying there for the whole time. And I used to play E-Leader on that team, but then now we have 3 E-Leaders, I think, on this team. Ice, Frank, and Kite as of right now. So that basically made me drop that, go play 10 Tech and 52 more often, and I, from time to time, play Blaster.
Okay, nice. That's a well-rounded set there. I like that.
Yep.
Thanks for the introduction. So we're just wondering, like, if you had any insight onto, I know Hanran's been performing like super well recently, and I was wondering if you had any like explanation, or is it just like the team's finally just coming together really well, or like some like weapon loadout comp working really well for you guys, or is it anything like that?
Well, we were Jutsu basically back then, except Suga wasn't there anymore, and River left for Deep Blues, and basically we extended the team on to HanRan after we disbanded it for the second time, and then we merged with a team called Break Memories and add Will and Citrus to our roster, and we started playing together more often, being more fluctuant with our callouts when we did in-houses, scrims, whatever. And we did more practicing, which I felt helped us improve even from where we were at the time. And that's basically all we did.
Nice. So it seems like adding more people to your roster and being able to get those in-houses and all that just really helped you
Yeah,
guys
having
improve.
flexibility
Yeah.
And being
for
able to run
players.
two teams in a tournament also helped because we got to play with each other more, so everyone had good synergy together.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's important. If you don't have good synergy, it's really hard to do anything or really pressure your opponent.
So you told me about how, HanRan formed. Uh, you told me about how you guys have been improving. So like when you're in houses, do you guys just kind of play together and like get a feel for each other? Do you like do anything super thought out or like lab? Do you do any specific like situations or stuff like that, or is it just kind of generally like a mentality on like improvement?
Sometimes we go into separate VCs to actually call out because we want to practice, but sometimes after we've had a long day, like when we won SCL twice, we basically just hung out all had a good time together because we basically didn't feel like doing anything more after playing all day long.
And I'm sure that helps with bonding and stuff, team wise, right?
Yeah, definitely. We played together like before we even merged or anything. We all known each other for a fairly long time, like at least 4 to 5 months. So we basically played together so many times that we know how each other plays, how we can like improve off of that, and also learn how we should play ourselves by that.
Nice. All right. So we really have much else to ask. I guess I could ask you about like, you know, we were speculating about how you guys reverse 6-0'd Komodo, but do you know specifically what happened there? Because somebody
Yeah,
was saying in
I'm very
chat,
curious.
somebody was saying they
Um,
didn't have a sniper, but somebody was saying, oh no, the Komodo did have a sniper, and like blah blah blah. So I just want to get like the actual truth here.
so basically, what happened was I was playing with BM in that tournament, which was the team we merged with, and I really didn't hear about it. Then I joined their VC after I went to BRB, and they got 2-0'd by not Komodo, as Squids Next Door. And I came back to find out that they 6-0'd Komodo, I think, or it was 7-1. Maybe they put the score wrong. Well, he said in chat 7-1. Okay.
Yeah,
Did
7-1.
All right.
so basically, I came out and I rewatched the stream, and it seems like Komodo was really aggressive, and then HanRan just understood everything they were gonna do, and they went in with good team pushes, and that was able to make them stronger in getting kills and pickoffs from people who went wide around the map trying to flank or something like that.
Nice. And I know I've heard a struggle of Komodos they talk about is that they oftentimes have problems with getting back getting back control if it's zones or like taking the tower back once the other team's pushed it really far. So do you guys think it was like you got one good like opening and you just held on to it really tightly?
Yeah, like I didn't really get to watch the whole stream because of time reasons, but from what I saw, I felt that once Hanron got a good push on the objective, or they just got the zone for a long time, they were able to hold down good map control, which was able to eliminate Komodo from coming in from flanks or from like side angles with long range weapons, such as Savage with the berry or the Dynamo from Hashi or someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
really important. Making sure early on in the match that you either establish control or just get the advantage early on. Because honestly, Splatoon in modes like Tower Control and Rainmaker is just a game about your best performance. So like do if you play like crap the whole game and have a really good push at the end, it's pretty much the same thing as you playing really well the whole time. You just want to What's really important is that you have that one good push that can really help your team move forward.
Agreed. And I think I was talking to Power the other day before the show, and I was talking to him about the results last week, and he was saying how one thing that HanRan does really well as a team is that they once they see an opening, they like attack it really well, and they take every advantage that they can get, like a lot more than some other teams usually do. And when he was talking to me about the SCL results and like why they lost to HanRan, there he was saying we just once we made a mistake, they just capitalized extremely well and they punished us for our mistakes more than a lot of other teams. So I think maybe that matchup against Komodo where they think they struggle in those situations and that's where you shine, maybe that had something to do with it. I'm just thinking about, maybe some connections there. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Like one thing I've really noticed from our play style as a team is that from playing against Cooldown multiple times and Komodo as well, that sometimes they falter in their positioning, like they group up too often, and then that just lets us know like, oh, there's two walls up. Let's go put a bomb on the wall. Then we can get out one or two people, and then we just have one person going from the flank getting map control. So then when they try to back up, they have nowhere to go.
Nice. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's
I like
almost like
that.
pincering them together. Like one person distracts or attacks from one side while the other person comes from behind, or just where they can't see them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically. And one other thing is that since cooldown doesn't run a sniper, it's a huge disadvantage because when Gray doesn't always run Dynamo or he's not playing, it seems like it's an automatic way that they have like struggle more to be aggressive if they're one member down because they have no sniper that can try to push us back at all.
Okay. So yeah, thanks a lot for all the like helpful insight. Honestly, that
Yeah,
was
that
that
was
was
a
really
lot. That
good.
was a really good response. Some really good responses.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Is there anywhere we could like follow you? Anything you want to plug before we
I
end our
mean,
little interview?
there's some things I could talk about, like maybe I know Key streams. His Twitch is Faces 3 in chat right now. He streams some tournaments. You'd have to ask him if he's going to stream or not. He does it from time to time. And I'm pretty sure Kochi streams too. His Twitch TV is, I think, Kochi's 1. I'd have to check. I'm not sure, but I'll get it for you guys definitely right after it.
Yeah, sure. We'll post it in the server.
Yeah, we'll definitely post it.
And
Twitter
then,
is at HanRan Splat with
yeah,
that's what he's saying in
mhm.
chat. Is there any
Is there
spaces
an
or
underscore?
underscore?
There's no spaces. It's just Hanron Splat straight up.
Okay.
All right.
And
Follow HanRan Splat on Twitter.
I can link our Discord we use if anyone would like to have it.
Sure, just send it to one of us.
all
We'll
right.
Yeah, here
post it.
message it to me and then or Nico actually and I'll post it in chat.
All right, here you go. There.
All right, thanks man.
Welcome.
Okay, so yeah, thanks a lot for coming on. And
You're welcome.
I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, yeah, nice.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
All right, later.
All right, Lucas.
Yeah. So that's a quick review of last week with some interviews. Anything else I can think about before I move on to our next topic, which is the Zimi?
Are we gonna? Is Power gonna come in here for a little bit, or are we
Power is
skipping that?
still talking about. I'm not talking about. He's still waiting on grand finals.
Uh-oh.
So he might not be on for a while, and I want to keep it moving.
All right, seems good. I felt like those were some really good responses out of Bran.
Yeah, and definitely follow HanRan Splat on Twitter. Join their Discord. Follow Key on Twitch if you can. So I think now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna introduce this by just talking about a tournament that happened a couple weeks ago called Inkstorm, and
Yeah,
talk
it's a pretty
about.
small tournament, no big deal.
Oh yeah, not a big deal at all. Really nothing important to note there. Um, just wanted to talk about how there's one weapon in particular that I was intrigued by.
Oh yes,
Um,
the Zinc Mini Splatling. Oh baby.
yeah. So this weapon, we have a little slide prepared for you
Yeah.
with some things that we've thought about with regards to the Zimi.
Yeah.
Um,
We saw it used very differently in Inkstorm 4 than ever seen. Uh, a very successful teams were using the Zimi. A Japanese team called Another Kids was running two Zinc mini Splatlings in some of their games and having just stellar results from all of it.
yeah, do you want to go a little bit more into detail if you know? Like, I feel like was one Zimi, I feel like was running one set and another Zimi was running another set. I can't remember.
Um, I feel like one of them was running oh, I'm not sure. I think one of them was running a special charge up, maybe tenacity set, and one was running a bomb range up run speed or something. Maybe both of them were running run speed. If anyone in the chat knows, please just let us know.
Yeah,
I
I
know
feel
they
like I
were
remember
different.
something about special duration too, or
Yeah, they really used their bubbles effectively.
yeah, and the point is that the the double disruptor and double bubble just seems like just
It
so hard to deal with.
it If you're
And
disruptored, you
yeah.
can't do anything.
And then if you run away the other direction, you just get disruptor from the other side. So I'm just gonna run
It's
around.
almost kids, not another kids. Okay, almost kids. Sorry. Sorry. I'm just a boy.
Yeah.
Don't bully me.
Um. So yeah, I'm just gonna fool around in the range here. So I'm just gonna talk about my first set I'm wearing. I've been playing Zimmy a bit recently, just because of how how that tournament went, and I was testing out what types of sets were gonna work for me with gear, and this is the one that I found the most success with personally. I mean, obviously the reason that this weapon is so good, I think, is because it is so versatile and it has such a good kit.
Yeah.
Um, it's just like a well balanced weapon. You can use
I
it in
feel
a
like it's
lot of
very
different
well
situations.
balanced. Can kill extremely fast. Has good turf coverage. Has one of the best kits in the game. Disruptor bubble.
Yeah,
That
I mean
that's ooh.
balanced. Let's use balance carefully. But I know what you mean by balance. Like it's well rounded. It can do.
Yeah.
It has a lot of options.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
meant. It doesn't really have, well, maybe it has a little weakness. I mean, it's still a splatling. It still has to charge, but
yeah,
um
agreed.
no, it doesn't really have any huge weakness.
Yeah, and so this first set I'm running is one where I have my hat on, which is tenacity with special charge. You have to edit for this. I unless you're like some type of spike god, you're gonna have to edit for this. Um, I wear this hat just a lot on a lot of my gear, just because it's like a nice. If you have an invincibility special or something that takes a while to charge, you get heavy depletion. Just having that special charge and tenacity at the same time really helps. And
Oh yeah.
having the bomb range pure shirt plus a main of bomb range on the shoes with some sub saver allows me to have enough ink to throw two disruptors and almost the entire full charge of um of ink to spray, and then on top of that I'm gonna be getting bubble quicker. So this is like a nice little, you could call it support. I'd say it's more of like a support role than like an aggressive role with the Zimmy. But
Yeah.
I think it works really well. You can kind of work your way into the fight like really slowly, if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
you can disruptor from outside, disruptor you can ink in front of you. It's pretty ink efficient, the Zimmy, for how much
Yeah,
turf
it
it
is
actually
pretty
covers.
inconsistent.
So yeah, anything you would like to say about like the Zimmy in particular with regards to like facing it?
Facing it. Ooh, that's honestly hard. I mean, if you're disrupted, don't try to kill it.
Yeah, honestly, with the
Unless you're
Zimmy,
just panicking and you're really close, maybe you could kill it or get a trade or something. Um, maybe try to make it bubble before it actually needs to. Say just like, I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say, Lucas?
yeah, you have to. I'd say what you're kind of implying is that you have to give the Zimi respect
Yeah.
in any type of like if you see the Zimi,
In any situation, yeah.
you gotta kind of expect a lot of things. You gotta expect the bubble at some point. You gotta expect the
Yeah.
disruptor. You gotta give it a lot of respect. And
Probably expect run speed most of the time. It's gonna be
unless you're me.
fast.
But yeah, it's gonna be fast. It's gonna kill you really quickly. So it's either you gotta treat it with a lot of respect, or you gotta get the edge on it before it gets the edge on you.
If you
I think.
outrange it, you can challenge it pretty effectively. But if it's running bomb range up disruptor, that's gonna make it much harder, but you can
Yeah.
still do it.
So if I go to, let's just say, like custom jet sculpture,
Yeah.
and I shoot, like I can shoot basically the second dummy, and if I go back to Zimi, I can throw my disruptors standing like just as far. So I think wearing this much, you know, bomb range is gonna help you with those other weapons in that aren't snipers, I guess I should say,
Yeah.
or splat or like long range
Yeah.
splatlings, like Hydra. But yeah, that's all for this set. You can talk about maybe let's do a more like aggressive one.
More aggressive set. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be wearing a lot of run speed here, and sometimes I tend to not want to do all pure run speed. So you could do some cold blooded if you want. You could
Oh yeah.
do, you know, you could run it with haunt even. You could make the hat something like, you know,
Yeah.
bomb. We
For
could add
sure.
like a main of bomb range. Like I think this is pretty decent actually, even though it looks really ugly. um,
But yeah, run speed's a necessity. Ink resistance is definitely needed for online. For a more offensive Zimmy.
and you could see just how quickly I covered the entire area of the
Yeah.
training room. Like it's just like I already have like firm control of this area, and I've shot like 4 shots, and I still have I still have some bomb range. I can still hit people that are out of my range, and I can move really quickly. I'd say this is more of like an initiator set if you're playing if you like that type
Yeah.
of role. Like
You
I
can run around like
personally have
Sonic.
struggled with
Yeah.
it, but because I feel like sometimes when you're playing one of those more like rush in heavy weapons, the Zimi tends to struggle in like point blank scenarios because of the splatling like typing.
Yeah. Because like I said earlier, the Zimmy is a splatling. It charges really fast, but it still does have to charge.
Yeah.
So pretty much any weapon that can get in on it and get the first shot is usually gonna win. So like that tiny time that it does take the Zimmy to charge, if you know what you're doing, that should be enough time to take it down before it can take you out.
Yeah. And I think this is one of the sets that's important. If you're gonna you have to sneak around the sides and you have to go in with a disruptor first because you're gonna be like this close to people a lot of the times, which helps with the
Yeah.
disrupting because it makes that easier. But then killing people, you have to know your 4 shot timing, like the charge
Yeah.
time on like a 4 shot or like 5 shots.
It's 4 shots without any defense. And I think it's like 2 mains, it'll become 5 shots. 2 mains of defense, it'll be
Let's find
five
out.
shots.
Um, I think you need 3 mains of defense.
3 mains of defense. Well, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think what's fun about the Zimmy is like you can use it in all these different ways. Like you could do what I did
You can
with
be
the
aggressive
support.
and play support.
So like being a Zimmy on a team is probably really helpful and like versatile. It's like almost like how a 10 attack sometimes you get like a tanky 10 attack, you get a really quick 10 attack, you get you know all
Yeah.
these different types of 10 attacks running around.
At the speed of sound.
Definitely. I'm looking for my I just completely missed my shirt here. But this is going to be more of one oh there it is. One definitely focused on like special charge and special saver and stuff like that. Personally, I don't use special
Yeah.
duration even though I have it in the slide, but I mean, you could definitely use it.
Special saver is kind of. I mean, definitely can be used. It definitely can be a useful ability, but you also have to remember that the Zimmy does have heavy depletion, which means it loses 75% of its special bar when you die. So like, if you only stack a little bit of special saver, it's probably not going to be too effective. If you stack more, maybe it could be useful. Um, One other thing I wanted to mention about the Zimmy is that sometimes I've heard some players say it's not worth like wasting your special sometimes, or like using it on a kill that won't help you actually push with your team or push objective.
Hmm.
You know what I mean, Lucas, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll like pop a Kraken and go chase a guy in the corner of the map. It's like, yeah, you got that kill, but like it didn't actually help your team. One thing about a heavy depletion bubbler is it pretty much in any situation it's worth bubbling because it will help you stay alive. That's one thing. And even if you die, you're only going to have 25% of your special bar compared to what you just had. So if you think that's worth it, I mean, go for it and just take the death or just not bubble. But I honestly would recommend bubbling in any sense of danger unless it's a really just you don't need a bubble. But most of the
Yeah.
time you just bubble with this weapon.
Yeah, especially with the set that I'm using right now, which is pretty much the same hat I had on before, the Tenacity Special Charge plus, um,
Oh, if you have special charge, then yeah, you could save your bubble.
yeah,
But
I've
if you
got,
if you're not running that,
or you could use it
um,
more liberally because you're gonna get it right back. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. If you're running the special saver, special charge up, special duration, not really worth saving your bubble. But if you're not, sometimes it's not.
Yeah. Um, but if what must be done must be done, if you need to bubble, and I would recommend just bubbling. And bubbling's never a bad idea.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why this weapon's so good. Same with Disruptor. I think
very,
doing
yeah,
anything with
very,
the
very good
Zimmy
weapon.
is never a bad is always it's always a good idea to be doing something with the Zimmy, and the more you can increase your presence on the field is like the better this weapon becomes. And I think that's why I really like it, because personally I like attracting the attention of the other team. So I think maybe we should try using this in tournament in the
Yeah,
future. I just saying. Anyway, so yeah, that's really all I had to say about the Zimmy, to be honest. Um, you could
yeah, me
be
too.
you could be a really like a bubble heavy one. You could really be an initiator. You could be some type of support with bomb range. But yeah, I think it's an interesting weapon. I think everybody should try it, honestly.
Oh
I just
yeah,
I
for
just feel like
sure. It's a
talking about
really,
it.
really fun weapon. One of my favorites for sure.
Hmm. Okay. So
All right,
yeah,
is that
thanks.
it?
That's pretty much all I have to do with the Zimmy. I don't want to go into like matches and stuff and like commentate over that, because this isn't gonna be like, not everybody watching this is watching this, like
Live.
completely
We're gonna be
live.
posting this on YouTube and also SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So
So
some people might not even see anything. Um,
exactly.
so we want to make it clear as possible just by speaking. And
Um. All right. So I'm gonna switch us back to the main slide,
all right.
and I'm gonna update the overlay. Switch to some upcoming tournaments here. So I guess right now we could talk really quickly about NNCL, because it's not really upcoming, but it's happening right
It's what?
now. The
Yeah, it
results
is.
are upcoming. I guess
Yeah.
you could say.
Grand finals is starting. I'm pretty sure. I think Power posted about it. Did he?
Yeah, if anybody has an
Uh,
update on that, post in chat
8 minutes ago,
liberally.
grand finals is starting. That's what Power said. So I guess they're already into it.
Nice. Okay.
Cool. Do you want to talk about the other upcoming tourneys?
Yeah,
And maybe we could sneak in the NNCL.
I'm just gonna I'm updating the stream overlay right now. But the first tournament, I guess the most I guess Well, what the next upcoming tournament would be, I don't know how much is happening this weekend, but I know Zapfish is obviously happening again. It's a weekly
Yep.
series. So I know there were some complaints about tournament scheduling and organizing. I think it was a new tournament series. I think, I mean, you've got to give tournament organizers like that some time, and regardless of whether they get less of a turnout this time, um, I think people should give them a chance
Oh yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
Um, it's always fun to play in tournaments. So yeah, another tournament that's coming up, which I think is next week, is so not this coming weekend, not tomorrow, but the week after that is SCL 24. And a lot of the reason why I did this podcast on Friday was because when you're looking at Splatoon tournaments and you look at who's gonna be there for the tournament on the weekend, oftentimes um you don't see who's gonna actually be there until it's quite late. Like if we did this on Monday and there's a tournament on Saturday or something, right? I
Yeah,
guarantee you 3/4 of the teams that are going to be there hadn't signed up already, and
yeah. That's what
so
happens with
yeah,
tournaments.
so signups for tournaments a lot of the times close like around this time if they're on the weekend or on Saturday. So usually we'd have some finalized brackets or like some finalized attendance lists that we could talk about. So SEL's next weekend, so we obviously don't have that, but SEL is usually pretty stacked, right?
Oh, for sure. STL is one of the most stacked tournaments. There are so many good teams out there now that, ugh, it's tough.
We gotta get practicing again, man.
Yeah,
We've been
I
out of
know.
it for a really long time.
Coast to Coast has been very inactive
Yeah, and if you're
lately.
looking for a team, um, and you think we're cool guys, then come through. Message me,
Come
ask me about
through.
tryouts. I can hook you up. But anyway, ICO's coming up, and another maybe more important tournament, I guess you could call it,
Yeah. I
that's
guess it
coming
could
up
be called a tournament, yeah.
is ESL has announced that they are having something called a Go for Splatoon Europe Cup, and it's pretty much every Sunday. Um, you choose your tournament, you qualify for one of the for like the Splatoon Showdown, and at the end, I think you can win an NX. Right? Is that the
Yeah,
prize at the end? You win an NX. That's ridiculous. It better
I
come
heard
with
about that.
Splatoon 2. Like,
I feel like it is. I don't think it's gonna come with Splatoon 2, but I heard that I think it's an NX.
yeah.
Now, don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter as well. Um, so it is 4-4. It's all best of three, and Rainmaker is always a third game. Um, so and if you're ranked higher, you get first pick. It's not like it doesn't start on a neutral map, but the loser does get the second and third choice. So even if you win the first match and you're the lower rank, then the higher ranked team gets two counter picks essentially. So I would say some of these rules. I'll link this to you real quick. Some of these rules I would say controversial would
Let's
be.
see. I'm gonna have to see once you send them.
They're in my chat.
Oh, all right.
And so it's 4-4. I think it's online, so you don't have to go anywhere. I don't think. So you can kind of compete
I'm
with
not sure.
anyone you want. If anybody has more info on this, like exactly, and they're sure of it, just let me know. But yeah, so what is your what's your opinion on Game 3 Rainmaker?
Um, I think Rainmaker is a very good tiebreaker. I think that's the mode that should be if there has to be a tiebreaker. I think Rainmaker should be it.
Why do you think that?
Honestly. Um, I don't know. Splat zones, some maps, if you lock the other team out, like Port Mackerel, it's just sometimes it's just good night on splat zone maps like that.
Yeah.
Um, Tower control, I don't know. That's another one I feel could be played uh as a tiebreaker map, but Rainmaker, the amount of teamwork you have to use to be able to like escort the Rainmaker, make sure like the synergy you need. It's just really good. It's just whoever plays better is going to win the Rainmaker match.
So
There's no
clearly,
there's no luck. Well,
yeah.
there is luck, but not as much.
Clearly, hashtag Rainmaker did nothing wrong. Supporter. Um, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I know a lot of teams
Go for it.
in particular
Discussion.
do not like Rainmaker as a mode because of how unpredictable it can be. Like one stupid mistake from your team can cost you the entire match. And if you're looking at you're competing at an ESL tournament, you're trying to get this NX, um, and you're sitting there and you miss one shot and it all
That's
goes
actually
down the
true.
drain.
That's a good point. Um, that's true. But
I
that
do
one
have to
lucky
say
push
though,
could be because your team made a mistake, and that team made a mistake isn't. It's something you should take responsibility for.
I will say though to your point about splat zones that you don't want the match to be. I kind of compare it to Counter Strike in a sense in which you don't want it to just be like one interaction. Like you have one fight and then the round's over, because it's a 5-minute game.
Yeah.
And if one scenario is just gonna predict the rest of the game, I think that honestly like
It's,
that might suck. So
it sucks sometimes. Yeah.
I think map choice is really important with regards to zones. I don't think many people would like to play anchovy zones or something like that, like something weird like
Like
that. You know what I mean?
salt spray zones. This is another one where
Exactly. It's
it's
like
really hard to get back in once you're out or once you get pushed out.
a lot of people would want to play zones as game 3, but you know that like salt spray would obviously be somebody's gonna get that and somebody's gonna be unhappy with that. So I think it's
One of
it's
the
really
most
hard to satisfy everybody
Yeah,
for
go ahead.
this.
One of the most even splat zone maps I can think of is probably Black Belly, because you really need to have control of both sides of the map, really be in control, and if like you give that up, the other team's probably going to stop the zone, stop your timer.
Yeah, and it's really close quartered too.
You really need to have command and control to be able to knock out on that map, and I feel like it's one of the more fun splat zones maps.
I agree with you 100% on that. I wish you could play a map like that every game 3 instead of just.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I've had matches on Port Mackerel like last game where it's not really it's quite stressful to play in those situations. So, um, I'm honestly, you can complain about the rules all you want, but at the end of the day, ESL is giving us a tournament in Europe, and
and
even
then
though
and
we're both from
NXs.
NA, like I think just any type of esports organization supporting Splatoon and Nintendo's name being on it, like I don't know, like
That's
that's
cool,
so
yeah.
important for a game.
It
It's
really is.
it's so important for a game's
It's just
competitive
exciting.
growth.
I mean, we're both from North America, Lucas, but like I'm still really excited for that tournament.
Hell yeah, dude. 100%. So everybody should follow at ESL Splatoon on Twitter. If you haven't already, I have. They don't post much, but like just giving them that support, letting them know that there are people out there that are excited about this, I think is important.
Yeah, that'll make them want to do it more, feel more comfortable about it. Because if they get the response they want out of the event, I'm pretty darn sure they're gonna put on another one. Because if Squid Storm wasn't as successful as it was, I don't think Endgame would have started another Splatoon LAN or announced one already.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
like if it was just a failure, they wouldn't have, and no one showed up, no one cared. You know,
Yeah,
it
definitely.
wouldn't they wouldn't keep be going, or it wouldn't keep going.
I agree with that. So everybody get excited for ESL Splatoon. I'm so excited. Who would have thought that somebody like ESL would have picked this up. I definitely didn't. So that's pretty much all we have. It's a pretty quick um podcast here, but we were planning to have power on. I don't know if does anybody have an update on that tournament
Power, my
that
boy.
tournament's end. NN CLA3. Um, I think it should be finishing really soon, unless they're going to like second set grand finals, game 5.
Yeah.
Which might happen.
You never know.
You never know. Um, so it looks like, do a little commentary, just a bit of an update. Power's team, the Savages, is up. It's made of Hachi, I think Pangit, Savage, and Power. They're up 2-0 in grand finals,
Nice.
and they're just about to start the third game. So it's looking good for Power. Um,
Yeah.
I think before we have them on, we can we could talk about some things about ways to get information and like where to look for information in this community because oftentimes I feel like a lot of the times people don't know where to look for
Yeah.
information
I
on
I
where to
saw
find it.
someone in our under the scope chat. They joined and they knew almost nothing. Like they were like, where do I go? Who do I talk to? Can I join a team? Blah blah blah. And it's kind of hard to join a community if you feel like that and you're new. So like, what do you think would be a good way to introduce people to the community and guide them where to go and stuff, Lucas? What do you think about that?
Honestly, I've thought about it a little bit recently just because we've been thinking about this show and I've been thinking about what information do I want to what do I want to talk about on this show and I think it's really important. A lot of us who've been playing since release or since competitive release, I guess, um, definitely started on Squidboards. Like I think all of us made a Squidboards account at some point, and I know Squidboards is definitely not nearly as alive as it was then. That's definitely how I
Oh
found
yeah,
my way in. I searched a
I
lot
found
of
my way through Squidboards too. Yeah.
I searched up a lot of teams. Um, you know, I found people who I liked and liked to hang out with, and eventually, I was on a team. Blah blah blah. But now I think it's like you see something on Reddit or you run across a YouTube video of like competitive, and you're like, where do I go? And
Yeah.
so I think one thing that's super, or you run across a stream and you're like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So I think a
You're
really
like, how do I
important,
get into this or get
yeah,
involved?
exactly. I think really important part of it is just having a Discord, obviously, and then just being in like a ton of servers. Like I could tell you, I'm in like I don't even know how many servers I'm in.
Yeah, having Discord is definitely very helpful. There are many servers that you can just post, hey, anyone want to play, and then boom, you can play a twin with someone, twin squad. There's a free agent server where you can post what rank you are, like what weapons you use, and teams will message you and see if you want to join or try out. There's community servers like Ludi, Leagues Under the Ink, where just there's tons of players in there that just Ludi is used for Ludi, but there's also a general chat and a good community in those servers.
Yeah, and I think
Um,
there's a lot of teams that have like huge servers. Like I know like Komodo's got a server that's like
uh,
public and it's pretty big. C minus's server is
NSTC
pretty
has
big.
one.
NSCC server is obviously the biggest one. NSCC doesn't even exist anymore, and their server is like probably one of the
Server's huge.
biggest in Splatoon.
Yep,
um,
I think that SRB2 dude has a server now.
he does. He has a server now. There are like there's a ton of people on that server as well. So I think what we're gonna do as a group is we're gonna compile a list of like a lot of like helpful discords and put them in categories. So we'll put like free agent discords, like looking for team discords. We'll put like LFG discords, which is like where do I find a team. We'll put like tournament series discords. Like I know
Yeah,
like Zap or like SCL, they have a tournament discord, and that's where they host all the tournaments. Endgame TV, you know, like
they host the Inkstorm tournaments.
yep, Turvy Kane has their own one. Um, there's a lot of weekly series that have theirs or bi-weeklies or monthlies. Like Mestival has their own server. Actually, I'm not sure about that. Or there used to be Fresh Squids events.
There's plenty of opportunities to get involved. I just feel like sometimes it's hard to get in at first. And
Yeah,
so like we want to make that as easy as possible.
exactly. And I think that was one of our goals with doing this show is just to let people know like what's going on, and even
Yeah.
if it's nothing so serious, like as long as we're at least telling everybody what happened this last weekend and like what's coming up, like what to be excited about. I think that's important for everyone to hear. So I think I think there's a disconnection in the third game actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Uh-oh.
we might just cut it and then next week interview Power about you know
Yeah,
an
one thing I wanted
NCAA.
to mention is that Lucas, did you want to do some viewer questions if there are any?
Yeah, if any of you guys have questions right now, you can ask in. I'm gonna open if you're in the Discord. I'm gonna open the stream questions chat. Or you can just ask in chat.
Yeah,
And
ask in Twitch chat.
if you
For now, ask
have
in Twitch chat.
if you have any questions, like if you have
Literally any question about Splatoon.
Splatoon, about us, about me personally, about like any tournaments, about like I saw this happen this weekend, like why don't you talk about this, like XYZ, like just you can ask any questions right now, and if you guys don't have questions, that's fine. But I would say ask away, and
Yep.
we can just talk. I'll talk about the match. Well, I'll talk a little bit about Power, since I'd say Power's if he's gonna be on this show, he's probably one of my closer friends in the community. I think he's the first person I met, honestly. Um, he's taught me a lot about Splatoon, a lot about sniping, a lot about how to not get sniped. Um, yeah, definitely the biggest thing he taught me was how to not get sniped. I'd say
Yeah, it took a while for me to learn pretty well.
yeah, and a lot about ink management. I know a lot
Oh
of you
yeah,
guys know
ink
him, and
management is
you're
huge.
like, wow, this guy's so good. Like, how does he do X, Y, Z? Like, I think a lot of it comes down to just like his ability to manage his ink, and I think he's really aware of what his options are at every single second. And he's definitely one of the players that I would say like just like labs the game like the most out of like anyone.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
if you talk to this guy, like he just I mean, you could talk about the deepest, darkest secrets of Splatoon.
The mustiest, dankest secrets.
The dankest corner, and you'll find him sitting.
Yeah, you'll find him sitting there in the dankest depths of Splatoon hell, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. So chat's pretty dead right now, but that's fine. That's fine.
Aw. That's all right.
Yeah.
It's our first week. We have 9 viewers.
Exactly.
That's still pretty good. 9 viewers first stream.
9 viewers.
Can
Yeah.
only get better from
Honestly,
here.
thanks everybody for like tuning in for this like first show. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
honestly, just I had such a fun time just like talking about Splatoon. And
Yeah.
if you guys missed it or you're like, damn, like I want this to be up, like have no fear. We will be uploading this to YouTube tonight, I believe.
Yep. It'll be up
And
tonight.
do we get Blue Racer 7 asks, do we get free food?
Yes, we get free
Yes.
food. We provide the hot dogs and
If
chips and dip.
somebody no, if we got 100 follows, if we got 100 follows tonight, which is not going to happen, Blue Racer
Exactly, yeah.
7 gets
Blue
free
Racer
food
7.
on me.
I will order you Domino's pizza and have it shipped to your house.
All right, we're not gonna get into the pizza
If we
conversation,
get
but
100
yes,
followers,
yes,
which we won't.
I'll buy you Domino's, straight up. And Power's now hosting you for up to 14 viewers.
Hell yeah.
What does this mean?
What the fuck?
Um,
Yeah, viewer count was at 18 earlier. We were doing really well.
Yeah.
Lucas, did the stream die?
Did the stream
on-
die?
No, like the stream, I think it's up, but like on the screen. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna refresh the stream. Okay, we're still good. We're in the gold.
And speaking of, you know, in the gold,
In the gold.
somebody who got a gold medal today
Oh,
has
the
arrived.
man himself.
He's
The man
muted.
himself. The man of the hour.
He's muted. We can have a quick post-game interview with iPhone 7, aka C minus power.
iPhone 7, get in here, boy.
I did some introductions about you, but do you want to introduce yourself, Power, real quick?
Good
Yeah,
evening,
Power.
friends.
Ooh, that sexy voice.
So you want me to do like an entire power history or what?
You
Yeah.
can start from the beginning.
Give
you
us
want.
the
Alright.
entire
Humble beginnings.
humble story.
As a young child, I've always wanted to play Splatoon, and
As a
When
young
I-
child, I'm pretty sure this Splatoon wasn't announced.
yeah, okay.
When you were a child.
Seriously,
Unless
though,
you're like 6. Power's probably 6.
most likely. I started playing for the team Quetzalcoatl. I thought they were. I don't know. I thought it'd be nice to join a team. Never been a
Team
part of
QC
one.
represent.
Yeah, so I stayed with them for quite a bit. That's where I met Lucas, Nico, your hosts, and after that I left for because I just wanted to do other things, and I just
You can be honest.
okay, yeah, I wanted to find a stronger team, but I still kept in contact with them, obviously,
Yeah.
and during that period I just played for a bunch of pickup teams, and that was when I reached out to C minus, or I just asked for a bunch of teams if I could join them. Then I joined C minus, and I just stayed with them up until now.
Now your boy
Or-
over here holds it down at C minus every tournament, every game.
Yeah.
I could say if you get a chance, if I had one person I could just play squads with and like chill
And just like not worry about
and like have a
Def.
relaxing time playing some tower control.
this is your guy right
this
here.
This is your man.
This
Anyway,
is your young
enough
boy.
enough admiration of Power. How did the tournament go? Tell us about NNCLA?
NNCLA 3.
Yeah, NNCLA 3. Tell us about NNCLA 3 and what you guys did.
Yeah, so it was for me. It was practically just a random pickup. So I played with Hachi, Pingit, Savage, and I just from looking at that lineup, you could tell it's pretty
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd be scared.
Just mildly terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just ran over the entire tournament. To be honest.
Taking a look back, you
Okay.
guys did not drop one game in
Yeah.
4 sets.
It was
Wow.
interesting
Wow.
because we almost lost our first game because Savage DC'd twice. So the first time it was
Oh,
a
I
restart.
watched that. Oh my gosh.
Second time it was a 3v4 and we somehow were able to win.
You
Somehow,
won a 3v4? Jeez.
You went 13 and something. Pengit went 13 and like 3, 14 and 3. Hachi went crazy. You guys all went crazy that match. I've seen those were some of the most clutch snipes. If you guys get a chance, like please like watch Power's perspective. Like watch his VOD on Twitch because
Oh yeah.
there was some, especially that first set versus
North
Squid-
Star.
North Star.
Yeah.
I would watch that set because, I mean, there was some really good players from Power's team there. But yeah, talk to me about. So you played HanRan last weekend, right? And you guys lost to them with
Yeah.
C minus.
Yep.
How did it feel? Like, what was the difference today? Do you think?
Well, today I'm playing with a different team, first of all, and I also wasn't really focusing too much, I would say, on the win. I just played just for playing. And I feel like my snipes were hitting decently, unlike during the end of SEO where I started missing a lot of shots. Might have been due to fatigue, to be honest.
Hmm. Nice. Okay. So yeah, you just seem like you just decided to, like, a sports player might say, like, take it play by play, just like focus on what's in front of you, just have fun with it, and move on. And I mean, I could definitely see that in you guys play today. You guys looked like you were just free forming it,
Yeah,
and it
it
was working
is.
super well.
Yeah, it was just a random kind of thing at the last second. So that's
um,
what you get.
yeah. So congratulations on winning
Yeah.
NNCLA 3. And you had to
Thank
wait
you.
quite a while. There's a lot of trivia played in the C minus Discord in between winners finals and grand finals.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um,
Lots of trivia.
you're gonna have to give me a rundown on how to put that in the Under the Scope Discord.
I'll do
But
that later. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, anything you want to say about any tournaments that happened like last weekend? Anything you think is like really important that you think we might have missed? I know you weren't listening, but like,
Um, let's see. Like, I don't really have my short-term memory or whatever it would be. It's not that great, so I don't really remember much about any specific tournament.
he's like,
Um,
just like so many people were sniped last weekend. I can't remember who was
Those
who.
noobs just got pwned. That's all I
Oh
know.
God.
I mean, I guess it's part of the mindset.
That's
Like
all I
after you
remember.
lose, you don't dwell on it, even if you lose.
Oh, this is a good question. Pug underscore in the Under the Scope questions chat asks,
Ooh.
what do you want from the future in your career? Joining any other teams?
And I think he means in your Splatoon
In
career.
your Splatoon career. Yes.
I don't see myself joining any other teams at the moment. I'm comfortable with the main lineup I have right now at C minus. I feel like we have a lot of potential, like a lot
Yeah.
more than
You
what we're
guys
showing right now.
certainly have a lot of potential. If For those of you who don't know, in the previous Ludi season this past summer, C minus went undefeated in regular season and won a division. Is that
A
correct?
division of Ludi, yeah.
Power.
They pretty much dominated.
Yeah, let's see. What was the closest match? I think it was versus GK. They're always a good matchup, to be honest. So shout outs to them. Get cracking.
GK is a fun team to play for sure. But yeah, you guys you just been on the up and up recently, and I know C minus has been around
For
for
ages.
so long. Like I
C
think one
minus is
one of
one of
the
the
oldest
oldest
teams.
competitive teams. Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like it's been around the longest, but the players, it's changed a lot.
Yeah, I know you guys are always recruiting. I see threads everywhere. I see Valk posting in free agents discords like we're recruiting new players, like we're looking for new people, and you guys have gone through so many players, and I think like the team that you have right now is it's a really good team.
Yeah, for sure. We like each of us have a lot of individual skill,
Yeah.
and I still feel like we haven't coordinated much at all. And
Hmm.
if anybody saw my stream from last week of SEL, you would have noticed that none of us VC'd except for me. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Um.
So yeah,
So
Ours?
I have to work on getting them to voice chat so we can improve, or else we're not gonna get far. To be
Yeah, that'll
honest.
definitely. I'd assume it would help a ton to voicey, VC. I don't English very good tonight,
oh
I
my
guess.
god.
For
um,
streamers.
just stream nerves, nah. Yeah, VC definitely would help. There are a few good teams that existed in the past that didn't VC. Like one that I know of is Black Paper. They used to be really pretty good. They never VC'd at all.
TSP, the Squid Box.
Squid
Also,
Yeah.
Box, Black Paper, Shokai didn't. I don't know if they did. Anyway,
I don't know.
what I
It's
was gonna
definitely
ask.
possible
Yeah, it is
to.
possible. What I was gonna ask though is So I was talking to Bran earlier from HanRan
hmm
about their recent improvement. And he said adding they combined with another team and that like having more people to practice with, getting a lot more in houses going, getting to know your players better on a personal level outside of just playing the game was like super important for their improvement. Do you think something similar happened on C minus? Because I know you're a big team. You guys have a lot of members. You get privates going a decent amount of the time. Um,
um,
like how do
well,
you think that affected
actually,
you?
At first, for me, the privates they were pretty fun, but as we kept doing them, I felt like they weren't really productive. So yeah, I'm kind of on the opposite position of Brand there in terms of how the privates helped us.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen you guys private. Happens a bunch. You guys have a lot of players, but do you normally? Because a lot of teams they like having a smaller roster so they get to know each other better and they
And
scrim
they
a
can
lot
have
of
good
teams a lot of
synergy.
time.
Yeah.
Do you
Um,
think? Do you think like you'd prefer to just scrim a lot of new like different teams all the time, or would you like you're more because you're not really much of an in-house type of guy?
okay, yeah, I did like privates, and yeah, I do like scrims as well. But let's see. I guess once you play with the same people like too many times, you already know how it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
You know
Unless
all of their secrets.
unless like somebody gets drastically better, but I don't see that happening. I haven't seen that happen in my past experience in C minus. So yeah, I do like the scrim, but most of the time it's against similar teams, so that gets kind of boring as well. So Legend has been trying to hook us up with some Jap scrims, so that's kept me interested in some things.
Nice. That
Nice.
sounds really good. Yeah.
There are a lot of really good Japanese teams out there that we don't get to see very often in tournament or just scrim or just play at all. So that'd be really cool to get to scrim them or just play with them and you know.
Yeah, last week right before SCL, we scrimmed against I forgot their name, Forte something, but at first they beat us like the first 5 matches. Then that's when we turned it around. So it was definitely an interesting experience.
K plus in the stream questions chat asks, I don't know if you have. We're not ignoring your questions. I promise. Um, we're he asked. I don't know if you have an answer for this, but what did you think about Yugo in the games versus HanRan?
Um, yeah, like I said, my memory's not that good,
Yeah.
and I think
Great player.
I'm not gonna disrespect because I can't really base it off anything, so
All right.
I can't really answer that
No,
question.
I don't think that was actually Yugo.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Um. But yeah. So, Power, thanks
Sorry
for
about
coming
that.
on.
All right.
Yeah,
Um.
Power.
Do you want to just like
Congratulations again.
Yeah, congrats on the win. Do you want to just plug anything in particular? Any links you want to say? Any Twitters? Any streams?
My stream, it's underscore power underscore, and I don't really use my Twitter, so I don't really think I should plug it. But follow my YouTube, power. The link's in the stream, so you can find it there. You could also join the C minus Discord if you want, but I don't have. I can fetch the link for you right now, actually.
Okay, yeah. If you want to just post the link in chat or something, um, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's always fun to have fresh faces around, keep things active.
Yeah, C
Oh yeah.
minus chat's a fun. It's a fun Discord to be in.
Yeah,
I'd say
for sure. The lit trivia. Perfect example.
definitely some crazy trivia questions in there. Um, so yeah, I think that's gonna conclude the show for us.
Awesome.
So
Right?
everybody who showed up, like, thank you so much for coming to our
Yeah, I
first.
think we're sitting at 22 viewers.
Yeah. After Power
That's
came back and hosted us,
after
it gave us
Power
a pretty
came.
big bump.
Thanks, Power.
Thanks, Power. Yeah. But yeah, thanks a lot. If you guys want updates on when stuff goes live, like our YouTube video or the SoundCloud podcast, like if you just check
Yeah,
back in our Discord.
we'll be posting the links to those fairly shortly. We'll ping everyone to let them know that the VODs are up
Mhm.
and they can be viewed,
And also
stuff
it'll
like
be on
that.
Twitter. We'll post on Twitter when those goes live with links. And
Oh, and one more thing. Make sure to all you people watching the stream, we have a feedback chat in our Discord. So if you feel like there's anything that we didn't do like as effectively or we did something wrong,
or if we did something
make sure
right,
to mention it. Or if we did something right, yeah. If you,
I don't mind compliments.
yeah, if you want to mention that in there, we'll try to improve it, or we'll humbly accept your compliment.
All right, but yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. We're gonna be hopping out of here, and we'll see you guys all next week hopefully. Tune in same time, probably a little earlier next time actually.
Yeah.
Same place, twitch.tv/UTS_Splatoon. So yeah, thank you guys all for watching.
Thanks for watching, everyone. It was
and,
really fun.
I hope you guys come back.
Yeah. Don't leave us.